Excuse me. Felix, get down from there. No. I really don't trust you. Hi everyone, Sabrina here from Scrappy Tails Crafts, and today I'm participating in a baby hop that Scrappy Tails design team member Sharon Luska put together. Her goal was to take some of the Scrappy Tails products and extend the life of them to work with a baby theme, because a lot of the stamps are more geared towards Valentine's Day and springtime. So everyone that's participating in the hop is going to be sharing some baby inspiration. I did read that quarantine might lead to some more babies coming this year, so I thought that this was a really great idea. And a lot of the team members decided to use the Sweet Bear 4x6 stamp set, and that's also what I decided to use. I think this is a really great baby set. Look at these cute little bears, and all I did was color them in pastel colors, and they really work well for baby cards. Now I decided to create a boy card. At first I was going for gender neutral because I did the green and yellow bear, but I just felt like blue would be that perfect finishing color. So mine is a boy card, but you'll be seeing some girl inspiration as well, and this can easily be converted to a girl card just by changing the colors. So I'm the first on the hop. I will link to the next person on the hop. I think it's Sharon Luska. And there is going to be a giveaway associated with this hop. So if you leave a comment on every video and blog on the hop, you'll be entered into the chance to win a $25 Scrappy Tails gift certificate. The more you comment, the more entries you get into the giveaway. So I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna let you guys watch my tutorial and hop along. I hope you enjoy it. The design team has created some really cute baby projects. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. So the supplies that I will be using for my card today are the slimline intricate lace border dies, obviously the Sweet Bear stamp set, and for my sentiment, I am going to be using this honeybee stamp. And then to create the background on my card, I'm using this Elizabeth Craft plaid stencil. So I'm starting this card off by die cutting my card panel. So I have a stitch slimline rectangle, and towards the center top portion of it, I'm going to cut these 3 squares. Both of these dies are by Trinity Stamps. I'll have it linked down below. I am leaving some room at the bottom of the panel so that I can add my scallop border, which is from the Scrappy Tails Slimline Intricate Lace Border die set. You get 3 borders in that set, and I went with the scallop just because I felt like that was the softest and would work the best for my baby design. So here I'm just cutting out that border. And here you can see that the little circles on each scallop do die cut out. I'm going to end up trimming this down using that same slimline rectangle die. I want to add that stitching to the bottom. So I'm taking that same die and going to cut the bottom to add the stitching. All right, so now I'm going to work on my background. So I'm taking the Elizabeth Craft plaid stencil. This is a really cool stencil because if you ink blend diagonally, you can create obviously a diagonal stripe, but then if you flip it vertically, then you can create a plaid. So I'll show you how to create the plaid. I am going to attach my slimline border to the back of this card panel. I just added some tape where it overlapped those squares. I'm also going to add tape to the back of my stencil to keep it in place. You can use pixie spray if you want, but I actually prefer using the tape. So the color that I am using right now is Cracked Pistachio, and I don't have this color in the Oxide range, and I don't have Twisted Citron in the regular Distress ink range. So you can combine both inks. They blend very nicely together. Some people recommend having blender brushes for dye inks and for your oxide inks, just so that you don't cross-contaminate. And I do think eventually I am going to get some more brushes, but for now, it ended up being okay. All right, so now I'm going to flip the stencil vertically and line it up with the background and go over the vertical stripes with the Twisted Citron. And I'm not applying a lot of ink here. I have a pretty light hand because I do want this background to be fairly pastel. So I'm gonna move my tape more towards the left of my panel now, and then I'll add my stencil on top. If you're worried about ink transferring, you can wipe off your stencil every time you move it, but I ended up getting lucky. I just made sure to be really careful. So yeah, very simple ink blended background. You can obviously use pattern paper if you want, but I don't have any plaid paper, so this ended up looking really cute. And if I were to do a girl version of this card, I would have used probably pink and orange ink, and I think that would have ended up looking really cute. So I wanted the punched out dots on the scallop border to really stand out, so I'm just adding some scrap gray cardstock behind. That way you can really see the scallop against the background, since the scallop border and the background are ink blended the same way. I will also end up popping this border up so that it stands out even more. But I do love how the stripes on the background and the border line up perfectly. So I'm taking the 3 squares that I cut from my panel, and I'm going to stamp the bear from Sweet Bear using my Memento ink onto each of these squares. And I'm stamping on 110-pound white cardstock, which is my favorite cardstock for COPIC blending. So I'm going to start with my blue bear. After creating the green and sort of yellow background, I thought that blue would just tie all the colors together and be a nice third color to add. But you can definitely maybe go with orange or something that's more gender neutral if you want to have a baby card on hand but you don't necessarily know what the gender is yet. But I really felt like the blue paired nicely with the other colors on this card. So I will have all of the markers that I used listed in the video description. I also have the caps on screen. I have colored this bear a few times on my channel, so I'm just going to show you how I colored in this blue bear, and then the other 2 I will color off camera. But I thought it was a really cute idea to convert this more Valentine's stamp set for baby cards. And the design team has created some really cute baby cards with this set. And I do encourage you to follow or subscribe to the members that are on this hop. A lot of them are smaller channels and deserve way more recognition than they currently have. I know, being a YouTuber, that it's really tough getting exposure, I guess, on YouTube when you have less than 1,000 subscribers. I found that once I was over 1,000, I was starting to reach more people other than, you know, my subscriber audience. So a lot of these team members are just above 1,000 or still below 1,000. And with blogs, I'm not as familiar with, but the bloggers on this hop are also super talented, and they have other beautiful projects on their blogs. So I would recommend following them or subscribing to them if you're really into blogs. All right, so my other 2 bears are done. Again, I'll have the markers that I used in the video description. And to glue these squares down, I decided to use that washi tape again and temporarily adhere the squares from behind this panel. I'm taking my card base and lining the panel up so that there is a 1/4 inch border all around, and there's only glue on the squares. So I'm just going to use my fingers to tack down the squares and slowly remove the actual card panel. In that way, when I go and add my acetate and pop up this panel, all of those squares will be perfectly aligned. I don't know why it took me this long to figure out how to do that, because previously I have been struggling to perfectly align them and glue them on the panel, and at least one of them would always be slightly off. So I thought that this was a really great way to make sure that everything is perfectly aligned. So I do have some foam tape behind this slimline panel. You could make this a shaker, but I decided to just make it a window card. And you know I'm going to add acetate to any type of window card that I create. I love the elegance of acetate, and I think it makes the card look more professional. I love acetate. So I'm going to pop up my border as well. And then to embellish this card, I'm taking some Trinity Stamp jewels and just scattering them in a diagonal, going from the top left to the bottom right. I am really not sure why I always do this with my sequins. I always glue them in a diagonal as opposed to just everywhere around the card. I guess that is just what my eyes like to see. And then I'll just attach all of them down with my art glitter glue, and then that is going to complete my card. So I will have Sharon's video listed in my video description, so you can head on over to her channel. She created an amazing pop-up card, and she is the creative genius behind this hop. So please go and subscribe to her, leave her some love and comments so that you're entered into the giveaway as well. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you next time. Bye.